Y'all come on in, come on.
Make your money smile.
I bet you have to.
We're all gonna die of something. Don't worry about social distancing. The good Lord knows when you're going anyway. Okay. This is an unusual moment for me. What I see around me is the reason that I'm here today. It's very evident to me that this is not a me thing we're going to do tomorrow. It's a we thing. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But I think it's important that we kind of all associate, because it's the associations that we've had over time that have brought us all here today. And it's kind of unique and special. And I think we should take recognition of that in various forms. The first thing I want to do is recognize Mark Rosicki, who put all this together as he does every year. The great Ragu has managed to, as always, mix it together and come up with something superb for all of us, and I think obviously we're all indebted. The other one, if you would all come forward, is Mr. and Mrs. Ed Harm. Ed, as you know, has been both the fist. Now, I want to introduce you to my son, who's an 11 Charlie.
There you go. Where's he at?
Where's he hiding? Over there. 11 Charlie. But Ed, as you know, has been much more than that. The things that he has been able to create in the basement of his house, or wherever cave you use, has been truly extraordinary. And not only are they good art, but more than anything, they express the spirit and the attitude of what we have been all about. Nobody does it better with his hands and his fingers than Ed does. And I think that, you know, what he's just extraordinary, and I don't have any other word for it. But thank you, Ed. And the person that actually does the real work and makes sure that his life does not have a malfunctioning parachute is Mrs. Harm, who has actually done most of the grunt work for this evening to make sure that it came off well for all of you, as she has done on several of our previous reunions. And I want to thank you for it. In a sense, we have to give gifts. The 82nd Airborne is giving me a gift tomorrow. I want to give out a couple of gifts this evening. And I'd like my dashing partner in crime, Dave McNeil. Where are you, Dave?
Here.
To come forward and let Dave explain the particular gift that we're about to give you and your wife. Go ahead.
The Airborne Cricket Award. And how many of you seen the movie The Longest Day?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. All right. John Wayne gets up and talks to the troops as the commander of the 505th about the cricket. This is the cricket, and the way they use it on D-Day, and actually the 82nd did use it when it gets down to historical accuracy. It was the 101st.
82nd used them too.
Say again?
82nd used them. They did, I guarantee it.
The 507th Parachute Infantry Regiment, which was a separate regiment assigned to the 82nd, used it. But the 82nd, the organic units did not use it. But
It's in the operation.
be that as may, okay? They were looking for a way to signal each other in the darkness at night. They had a challenge in password, which was thunder and lightning, but they needed another method. And so with the cricket, one click is answered by 2 clicks. And so they went out in England to find some type of device. We don't know, I've read a couple of books, and they don't know the history of which person actually came up with the idea, but this was a toy. And they went to the company in England that made it and had them made several thousand of it. And this one that we have here today that Keith's going to give out is actually one made from the original company on the original presses that made them on D-Day. They still actually make them occasionally for people that want something that's, you can buy the cheap ones for $2.99 in Walmart, but this is one that was actually made out of the same methodology on the same presses by the same company. So that's the history of the cricket.
And Dave and I would like to present this to you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you. Sergeant Major Guida, get on up here.
Yeah, whoa.
Come on, Ted.
What did I do?
Well, the first thing he told me, quit smoking. Now, I remember Sergeant Major Guida as 3rd Brigade Sergeant Major when he did the 5-mile run, chain smoking camels the whole time. More importantly, as everybody here in this room can attest, life after the uniform has been equal or even better. He has managed to impart to all of the airborne troops at Fort Bragg and the retired troops, us old alumni, a great deal of the spirit and camaraderie and the strength that binds us all together. As you know, he has a very interesting history as a person. The most important part is his dedication. And for several years, he has provided the libations that keeps the airborne bonding machine flowing and has continued his work at the Airborne Special Ops Museum. And most importantly, he's a really solid friend of everybody in this room and always will be. And we would like to award him also our cricket. Thank you. I'd like to introduce a couple of special guests here that you may know peripherally or directly. You're all going to know them directly this evening, and I expect you to grasp them with the normal 2505, total 100% dedication that you always give to anybody and anything you either want to love or kill. Either one works. The first is Lieutenant Colonel Kevin Meyer, USACAPOC. Kevin is our Normandy connection. He is the commander of a battalion in USACAPOC. He's been going back to Normandy every year and is a real student of the history and of this particular battalion. He is one of our greatest assets because he is able to impart to the people in Normandy and to his own troops who have never been there what the 2505 meant for D-Day and what the 82nd meant for D-Day in terms of its job and its work. So he is our messenger for the future. Thank you, Kevin. I have some hesitation.
He's a colonel now.
He's a colonel now. Wow. You owe us all drinks. I'm somewhat hesitant in introducing this particular guest. I don't have to introduce him. I just want to acknowledge him. Elias, will you come forward? That's you. The guy with the puppy. Elias, as you know, is our classic 2505 Grunt 11 Buffalo. Elias has not set the shaving standard. And we're even uncertain if he's met the weight. But Elias, more than anything, and at least equaling or exceeding us, has met the heart standard. Elias has been our greatest single glue in keeping us all together over these years since we left the battalion and went on to other pursuits. And much of what we do and why we do it and why we're here, we owe to Elias, to say nothing at all of his hospitality suite. Thank you. I'd like to introduce also Kathy Sorrell. Kathy, come on up here.
Oh my goodness.
The 82nd always loves blondes.
Our fearless leader.
Kathy is from Locust Valley, New York, and she is the power behind the relationship between the 82nd Airborne and St. Mary-Glise. She is closely associated with the Friends of American Veterans, which is the French citizens of St. Mary-Glise that support the troops every year. Kathy, through her works, provides assistance to all the schools in the St. Mary-Glise Normandy area to keep alive the works and purposes that your predecessors made on D-Day. She is the most pure of heart person I know, and one of the greatest reasons why in France what the 82nd did is not forgotten. I just want you all to meet her. And you got to quit filming now. You got to come up forward.
All right, I'm filming.
This is Jeff Stauffer, who is the editor-in-chief of American Legion magazine, and he is the one that caused the association between St. Mary-Glise, the 82nd Airborne, and the United States of America. He's the one that put it all together. He saw the vision of what the 82nd had done in 6 June 1944, saw it as something that needed to be preserved, and with the American Legion and his particular position, was able to create the glue and the association with Kathy and the other folks of St. Mary-Glise, the citizens of St. Mary-Glise, to preserve what this battalion and the other units in the 82nd was able to do. So we owe him a great deal too. That you don't know about it, you don't hear about it, but we have this unique moment in time to actually understand and see the association. Thank you, Jeff. I've kind of saved my family for last because they're really the reason that I exist. I have today my eldest son. Where are you, eldest son? There he is, Chris. Chris was an 11 Charlie, and he's obviously very closely associated with Ed Harm, and he is here today, obviously, for this particular issue tomorrow. Also, his wife, Kathleen, here you go. I just love grossly embarrassing. And my grandson, Andrew, who will be with me for the actual honoree. He's my guy. Stand up, Andrew. Andrew, for this occasion, got an airborne haircut.
Hey, let's see it.
No, you don't want to do that. Okay, my other grandson, Henry, is back there to the rear. He is the world's expert on 12-year-old computers and Batman. If you want to know anything about the subject, he is the expert, bar none. Also, my cousin, Kim Hamilton, stand up.
Niece.
No, what are you? You're my niece. I aged her.
I'm not your cousin.
Really good wine. And her husband, Aaron. They live here. Where do you live precisely?
Ocean Isle Beach.
Ocean Isle.
Ocean Isle Beach, it's between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach.
They have a B&B, by the way. You can find them on the internet. Please sign up. Okay. Where is Ed? All right. You have something you want to do.
Sure. On behalf of our family, and now whether you like it or not, you're part of our family, we'd like to present you with a few small trinkets. So I'm going to try to do this kind of in seniority. Christopher? Thank you.
Show it. Oh, wait a minute. You got to kind of
Explain it.
figure out what it is and all.
Anyway, it's our unit crest. It's just a little pelt pin. And the wearing honor is Dad. Okay. And I think it's a tie tack. You got it with yeah, it's in there. With the diving panther. That's
Thank you very much.